Good morning, Twitch.tv. Good morning to YouTube as well. And of course, good morning, Mini Motorways. Let's go to Manila for today's daily challenge. It is the triumphant return of business Goog. Because I have a hard out, I have to be on a call at 8. So we're gonna move with the swiftness. We get one motorway and no further motorways are offered, and all destinations are circles. Sunflare Space was here first. Good morning, Sunny. Sunny correctly noted that I had the wrong starting soon indicator on my starting soon screen, and I was a jerk about it. Was not actually a jerk about it. I was being silly. We're all having good, fun, happy, fun times here. I don't know. But Goonicorn is here as well. They say that this daily challenge sucks, which, yeah, everything being skyscrapers and not having any motorways is, difficult. But it'll be fine, maybe? Oh, Ghosty did not have a good time with it either. Oh, poor Parlor Ghost. Alright, we are out of road, which is bad. It'll be fine. We're gonna get a few road tiles in just a moment or 6 here. You can survive another calendar day, right, Yellow Circle thing? This Yellow Circle is going to be very mad at me when we get around to completing this road, but it'll be fine. Here, give me 2 traffic lights. That might be all the traffic lights we ever need for the rest of our lives. This Yellow Circle is briefly going to be angerated, but once it's not, everything will be cool. Ooh, gross. I don't like you. All right, what are we going to do about that? We are going to take this right here. We'll go down that way. And now these blues will use a little bridge to get over here. And then, yeah, we'll slide this along here like so. A little bit gross and awkward there, but not a big deal. You go off like so. 4 of you into that, 4 of you into that. In theory, everything being a circle means that the scores can pile up really quickly because there's constant demand for people at the businesses, but in practice, maybe not so much. We'll see. Speaking of things that we'll see, we do see that we have another red circle up over yonder. We don't have, however, any road to get there, so not great. But again, it's already Saturday. You'll be totally fine. Be totally and completely fine. It is indeed a Goog cam. We can move this red onto that road in a minute. All right, let's just get through Sunday. Give me 30 road tiles and immediately pause. Thank you. The 4 of you come down here. We'll swoop that away. You go up like that, you up and over and down thusly. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4 red houses into this red circle, 1, 2, 3, 4 blue houses over here, 1, 2, 3, 4 reds over here, 1, 2, 3, 4 yellows here. Everything's fine. One business, one road. Everything's coming up Goog House. There. Oh, goodness. I've reached the point of my cough where I feel fine. I feel fine, except every few minutes I have what I feel like is going to be the last cough. I'm like, okay, there's a little bit of shit in my chest or whatever, and I have to cough, but this time, this is the cough that will dislodge it. This is the final cough that I shall ever cough. And then I cough, and it's not actually the final cough, but it feels like it, and that's what matters. This webcam is entirely to that way. If we slide it like such, we completely lose track of everything that we're supposed to be doing. There, that's worse. Let's take a bridge and fix that. Jeez. You, properties. You, configure video. You, pan indicator. Voop, voop, voop. Voop thusly, damn you. Alright, I should probably do something about this dark blue business rather than futzing with my camera. Camera futzing's more fun though. Alright, what do we got? We've got this dark blue business and all of these dark blue houses. Well, that's fine. You can come up here, go, no, don't, W road. Why would I ever want a W road? No. So the 5 of you come down here, over here, bridge that into this. That's going to be A-okay. Sure. Ow, 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 ow. My neck hurts. Hold on. I must final cough. Ow. That hurt. Now then. Boy. Alright, well, we don't have to do anything here until Sunday. If we get a bridge, we can just take these 2 yellows and soup them down here, and that'll be A-okay. That might just be fine, but if we don't, then we're gonna have interest problems, but we'll see. Let's take, I'm gonna take 30 road tiles again, just to make sure that I don't run out of road. Now, we have a problem. Let's solve this problem in the easy, simple way for now. We're just going to take motorway number 1, and it's going to slide in like so. And I think the 2 of these should be able to catch up with this. Like, you're not going to ultra die, are you? You're not going to thrive or nothing, but I don't think you're going to ultra die if I just leave these 2 houses in charge of this business. Yeah, you've got a quick little motorway here. That's gonna be, yeah. You can see we're slowly starting to whittle down the number of people waiting for pickup at this business. So I think given enough time, that's gonna be fine. Now, problem is this circle up here. This circle up here is not great. What are we gonna do about that? I don't actually know. Got these 2 red houses. We can put this and this on this road to get more red traffic going out here. If I had taken the roundabout that was on offer this past weekend, I could very easily, roundabout in here and then do something. As it stands, nothing good is going to come of this. Absolutely nothing good is going to come of this. We're going to have to make some bad choices. Okay. Well, nothing to it but to do it. Let's do this. You are going to come through here and go off that away. This can be a traffic light. That's a perfectly cromulent traffic light. And what I'll do is I'm going to put another traffic light up here to get over to this circle. This is a perfectly fine traffic light. This is a bit of a clusterfuck. Not gonna lie. This right here, it's a problem. You don't want it. Been streaming for 8 minutes and I just got worried about time, so that's where my brain's at. These 2 blues, if we get more... Yes, hold on, hold everything. If we can kill this traffic light and this road right here, the 3 of you can just kinda... support this by yourselves. There you go. Good morning, Hulkamat. It is indeed always nice when our traffic lights are perfectly cromulent, although, problem. Okay, let's take a bridge. We're going to use that bridge to replace this motorway. Boop, 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 and boop. So you 2 come down into here. You're going to need some help shortly. In the meanwhile, though, we'll replace... Yep, now that we don't need that motorway, we get these 3 greens right here. Motorway number 1 down that away. That should be A-okay. Boop and boop. This nightmare is just gonna be bad for a while. There's not really much I can do about that. Maybe another traffic light? Traffic light here, I don't think would help. I don't think putting a traffic light here would be helpful. Like, I think it would slow things down more than anything, honestly. This light blue comes over here. Hulkamat is correct that adding a tiny metro, a mini train line of such, would probably be helpful for the city, but, you know, building motorways would be helpful for the city, and they already voted against that, so keep saying it, democracy just doesn't work. Okay, let's take a bridge and 20 road tiles. Being possessed by a bridge, is there anything... There's nothing really I can do being possessed of a bridge here that I hadn't already been doing. If everyone in the city watched Toa Leona versus Hangman Page, everything would be fine. Listen, apparently people liked that match. Okay. I'm not going to argue with people who said a wrestling match I'm not going to argue with people who said that a wrestling match I got bored by and watched maybe 30% of was good. I will say I got bored by it and watched like 30% of it. So, there's that. Here's the thing with AEW Dynamite as we transition into the wrestling talk of the episode. Your typical bad episode of AEW Dynamite has somewhere between 4 and 6 good to really good pro wrestling matches where you could safely, easily, and comfortably bet your life savings, your mortgage, and your cat's life on the winner of every single one of those 4 to 6 good wrestling matches. That's your typical bad episode of AEW Dynamite. Last night's episode of AEW Dynamite was like that, except the wrestling matches for the most part weren't good. Until the main event. The main event was fine. It was okay. It was entertaining. I just didn't give a fucking shit about Jon Moxley versus the decaying corpse of Jeff Hardy, or Hangman Page versus a big slow oaf guy who didn't look like he knew how to wrestle. Then I stopped watching the match, and apparently the match got good. Moxley is indeed the wet guy. Baguna Court still remembers Jon Moxley as the wet guy. Yes. Yes, indeed. He is perpetually moist. All right, you come up here. Doot, doot, doot. So we've got this yellow business up here and all of these yellow houses down here. He's quite wet. He was an exceedingly damp gentleman. You're not in any way wrong, Boggers. Now what we're going to have to do is come up this way and bridge like that. Bridge like that. There we go. Over to here. So you 6 yellows are going to race to get over here. Are you going to get there in time? I think you're going to get there in time. It's going to be fairly close. There you go. It's very interesting to me that AEW is doing Hangman versus Swerve again on TV next week. It feels too soon to go back to that match. It also feels like, I mean, either Hangman or Swerve would be good winners for that match, but there are no good losers for that match. So at the same time, they shouldn't do a double DQ or a draw or anything because you promoted a match, give us a finish. So Hangman's probably winning. Hangman probably shouldn't win, is the thing. Like, they've got something with Swerve, and they've got something with Hangman. Hangman's great too, but again, it's weird. It's just weird. All right, we got a problem in that this dark blue business doesn't have anybody going to it, but it should be fine in a second here. They're kind of loading up this show to pop a rating. They've got the tag title match with Darby Allin and Sting winning the tag belts. By the way, Darby Allin and Sting are 1000% winning the tag belts, and that's fine. They've got this match with Hangman and Swerve. It's, you know, You could do Hangman Swerve again at All In. I feel like everybody just kind of assumes that Will Ospreay is winning the title at All In, which, I mean, they did just sign Will Ospreay, and he's great and British, and they have a show in Britain this year. They should probably, like, put their world title on the Great British Wrestler at the British show. That does make sense. So, they did also just sign Kazuchika Okada. AEW has so many dudes. They just signed Okada, probably. They keep wanting us to believe that they just signed Mercedes Moné, and one of these days they will have actually just signed Mercedes Moné. Alright, what are we gonna do with this dark blue, light blue nonsense here? We got a problem. And the problem is Mercedes Moné is not the name of a drag queen. It is the name of a very good lady wrestler. You come off here. You go that away. This yellow. It is not pronounced. Her theme song says money. Her name is not Monet. I refuse to believe that. I refuse to endorse that. Don't do that. That's silly. You come over here. As you're not wrong, Boggers. Wrestling and drag are very much the same thing. You come over here. You go down that way. This red will go off here in case it ever thinks of anything useful to do with itself. What in the hell are we gonna do about this business, though? This business is in a bad place. I think we're just gonna have to do this, which I hate, and then we traffic light that. Ugh. Oh, I can't stand that. Can't stand that in the least. You go off this way. This roundabout supports this business. It'll be fine-ish. Have a good day at work, Hulkamat. Oh boy. Alright. You go that way. This dark blue. You know what? Yeah, let's take this and this dark blue and run them up into the roundabout and over to here. Just get more support to this dying, fledgling business. That'll be fine until it's not fine, at which point it'll stop being fine. But, oh, gross. More greens here. Okay, well, listen, it's not actually the worst thing. We do have a bunch of space for, yeah, we can do that. You'll be totally fine once you stop pretending that you're fine. This is not fine. It's not fine. The good news is I'm not going to run into my heart out because, oh boy, oh buddy. All right, let's take a bridge. All of the reds are dying, which I understand. That does make sense to me. Given what we see here, yeah, I understand what's going on there, sort of. Let's do this dumb thing here. We're gonna put these three reds to work. We're gonna run big, long, terrible road up that away. Traffic light there, everybody go. The idea is that pulls some of these reds, that pulls these red houses away from this business and redirects them toward these two businesses, meaning that they don't, fucking die, which would be good. It also means that we get these red houses going up here to support this business. Unfortunately, no, actually. Neither of those turned out to be true. 1,439 commuters over 65 days. That's not gonna do it. No, that's not. It's top 20% in the world, but it's not as good as Boggers, and it's not as good as Sam. And Parwa Ghost is up near beating Sam. So let's see. Drop those ghosties in the chat for Parwa Ghost. Drop the Samurai Sams for Samurai Sam. And Boggers, you don't have an emote. You get the Ice Dragons. Drop those Ice Dragons in the chat to congratulate Bug Unicorn on their victory over the me. Now then, where... Oh, did Ghosty fail? I feel as though Ghosty failed. Sadness. Where did my Wordle window go? There did it go. Aha. Glory and triumph for Samurai Sam. Or something. Parloghost wants us to refresh it. She's so mad. Okay. Let's see. Refresh? No? Boop. And boop. How do you refresh it? Refresh your thing. Ghosty didn't do well. Probably got like 2,000 and nice. Ha! Beat you by 16. 2064. Oof. I am sorry to hear that, Parloghost. Now then. There's an L in the word. That's nice. We can claim victory. Sure. It could be claim. It's not, but it could have been. It could be alive. Could absolutely be alive. The Wordle is alive. We solved the Wordle in 3. Hooray! Victory and quickness for me. Now then. Down goes the Wordle text. Here comes the connections. Oh, God. All right. Let's see here. Well, pair, trim, and cut, and prune. These are all things you do to a plant. Are there other things like that? No. I think that is just, possibly. Oh, clip. Take out, cut, put in. God, fuck, no. There are 5 and I'm choosing the wrong 4. Okay. Boggers notes that swole, buff, where's buff? Ripped and jacked are all bodybuilding terms. God, and built. There's 5. No. We did it again. I have failed. Okay. Well then, let's see here. All right, brain, walnut. Nope. Okay. Let's see here then. All right, a pug, a prune, a walnut, and your brain are all crinkly and rigidy, right? Right? Thank you. God. Now by doing that, we took out prune, which means that pair, trim, clip, and cut are, hack away at your plant words, right? Yes. Swole, rip, built, and jacked. Nope. So nut, fan, and lover go together, which... Oh, well, nut, fan, lover, and buff are all words that mean like aficionado, right? There you go. Enthusiast. And then you've got swole, jack, built, and ripped, which is just your grr, arg, muscular. There. Those are some connections. God. The ones where there are 5 are just... Oh, God. Okay, today's... Oh, no. Okay, so we need Cardinals, Giants, dudes who pitched, dudes who caught, dudes who played shortstop, and dudes who played in the Negro Leagues, which... Oh, boy. Okay, all right. We're not going to go very esoteric here, but it'll be fine. A dude who pitched in the Negro Leagues is Satchel Paige. That's correct. A dude who caught in the Negro Leagues is Josh Gibson. Right. And a dude who played shortstop in the Negro Leagues is, I think Jackie Robinson did that before he moved to MLB, didn't he? He sure enough did. Not exactly obscure, not helping the old rarity score, but hey, we got squares for the grid. Now then, a San Francisco Giant who played shortstop is Omar Vizquel. That's a thing that happened. A San Francisco Giant who caught, the obvious one is Buster Posey. Can I think of a more, you know what? Let's go with, was Sal Fasano a Giant? Coffee Cafe. Subway Space and Coffee Cafe are very confused about the concept of the Negro Leagues, which, yeah. So it was pretty much a segregation thing. It basically, before 1945-ish, essentially, there was no rule on the books, but it was a gentleman's agreement by the shithead fucking bastard owners that no African Americans would play in Major League Baseball. So Major League Baseball just didn't have black players until the 1940s. Like, if you ever hear me point out the correct and accurate statement that Babe Ruth never played against a black man or a slider in his life. Yeah. Also, the word Negro, that was the word for the league. There were many professional baseball leagues filled with black players that called themselves, this is a Negro baseball league. We are the Negro version of the Chicago White Sox, that sort of thing. That was the word that was used. So, fast forward 80 some odd years, apply the whitewashing brush of history, and it's like, oh, the Negro Leagues, they were wonderful. Everyone loved them. Don't question why they had to exist. They just did. Yeah, it is not a term that is, it is not a word that I would use in any association other than this. It is not a word that is in common usage now for any, white people don't feel comfortable saying that word in public because it's wrong, except when discussing the Negro Leagues, because that was the name of the league, basically. So you really can't not do it. It is not a term that is in common parlance today at all. Yeah. Like, Boggers is right on it in the chat. Lots of things had the word Negro in the name. Like, it was, there would be schools for Negro children, that sort of thing. Just, that was the term that was used, one of the terms that was used back in those times, essentially. Exactly. It is not a slur in the way like the N-word. It is not that level of slur. But if a person was to go around calling African Americans Negroes today, that person would get anywhere between a strongly worded raised eyebrow and just a fist in the face. And they would deserve somewhere between a strongly worded raised eyebrow and a fist in the face. As I was saying, it's similar to colored. Calling people of color colored people today would probably be worse, but gaze upon this pasty face complexion and figure out how I don't feel comfortable parsing the levels of badness of slurs. It's not up my alley, so to speak. Oh, God. I'm trying to remember if Sal Fasano was a giant, and I can't remember, so we're just going to say Buster Posey, because that's simpler and easier. Yeah, there are some real, dyed-in-the-wool hardcore racists who will say colored still, and they're basically saying it because they know they can't get away with saying the N-word, but they would like to. A San Francisco Giant who pitched, I'm sure there are, if I could name a position player who pitched for the Giants, I would. Instead, we're just going to go with Javier Lopez. Nice little submarine lefty guy who was somewhere between terrible and okay for the Red Sox for a few years, and then he was somewhere between terrible and okay for the Giants for longer than that. Good for him. A St. Louis Cardinal who pitched is Jeff Suppan. Always nice to remember Jeff Suppan. Terrible mid-90s Red Sox pitcher who then went on to become a perfectly cromulent late 90s and 2000s National League pitcher. A St. Louis Cardinal who caught is Yadier Molina, obviously, but also, oh God, what's the name of the dude that they signed from the Cubs, who was a catcher, but also an outfielder, but they signed him to catch, but then they moved him to the outfield. Fuck. What's that dude's name? It's right on the tip of my tongue, and I'm never going to remember it, so we're just going to say Yadier Molina, and we're going to move on with our lives. Oh. A St. Louis Cardinal who played shortstop will be David Eckstein, and that will be a nice and simple, not very good rarity score, immaculate grid. That girl used slurs you didn't even realize anyone who wasn't a cartoon supervillain would use. Yikes! Was this a mutual coworker of ours? I can think of... This can't... Could this have been a mutual coworker? I guess this could have been a mutual coworker of ours. But, okay. Old coworker. That's probably... Well, I don't know if that's good. Trivial Pursuit. What object does Oscar appropriately stand on? He stands on a reel of film, doesn't he? Yes, he does. What U.S. landmark did title characters Thelma and Louise? They went over, they went into the Grand Canyon. What is the first name of Bodie Miller? I don't know. His name's Jeff. That's funny. Nope. What does uranium become when it has lost all of its radioactivity? Okay. TIL. How many days are in February? 29. What did the girl kick in the title of the third? I don't know. She kicked a hornet's nest. That's a thing the person kicks. I got 5 out of 6. Hooray! Yay! 5 out of 6 is like 6 out of 6, except 16 and change % worse. Anyway, that is going to do it for us here today on Good Morning Mini Motorways. I will be back tomorrow. Wait, no, not tomorrow, tonight! Bring up the schedule, Goog. We will be back tonight at 5 o'clock Eastern-ish. I have to work until 4-ish, so it might be a little bit late. But tonight, we will be back with Valkyria Chronicles 4, returning to that for the first time in a few weeks on stream. That will be lovely. Tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock Eastern, for Good Morning Mini Motorways. Until then, hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you for being here. Bye-bye.